I've already learned so much by being here, just with the senator speaking and with Mr. Deere. But I think I'm already seeing that we have a lot of things in common. And we have a lot of potential opportunities in front of us. What if that farmer in the tractor in his barn had a terrible accident and couldn't speak? Or what if that farmer simply had a heart attack? And that tractor is enabled with location determination technology. And what if that farmer could press a button and have it call 911 in the small nearby town, and hopefully that small sheriff's office or police department would have the wherewithal to take that call without a voice to say, send me help, I'm at Farm Road such and such in the back 40. That call could go straight to 911 with location determination, an XY coordinate that could be carried out to the field by the sheriff's office. They could find the right farm road, they could find the right barn, and they could find that person and help them, and they would have the right equipment and the right people there to help him, and they would know all this before they even left the station. And that's the vision of Next Generation 911, and that's the vision of FirstNet. And so I think just in one 5-minute period alone, I'm already seeing there are vast opportunities for many different groups to work together on this to realize all of our goals. The Middle Class Tax Relief Act established a beginning way for us to get there. It established FirstNet for radio interoperability. And if you scroll down through the 50 or 60 pages about FirstNet, there's a little piece at the end of that bill that also provides support and policy for Next Generation 911, because Next Generation 911 and FirstNet really do go hand in hand. And that was a huge effort and a huge success and a great starting point for our industry. And it came about by collaboration, Department of Transportation, Commerce, Highway Safety Administration, National Emergency Number Association, police chiefs and communications officers, and I'm sure a lot of support with the Congressional Next Gen 911 Caucus here in Washington. And it is a huge step in helping us realize the full potential of broadband emergency communications grid, so it can be done all over the country, not just in the urban areas, but also in the rural areas. I think that we are making some headway with this step, as well as in Texas, and I think we're getting some toeholds across the country and other states, according to my counterparts there. In Texas, we recently had our statute changed, the 911 statute changed to recognize an emergency services IP network, and that we have the authority to implement it, and we have the authority to fund it, and we have the authority to coordinate it with all of these people, all of this area to serve, and all of these 911 entities to serve. So it established a coordination point for us. After 6 years, maybe 8 years, we finally were appropriated funding to start Next Generation 911 in Texas. And we got about a third, 25% to 30% of what we think it'll take us over the next 6 to 8 years to implement just a new basic network, interconnected network with the data that needs to go along with it. And that we were appropriated $12 million for 2 years. But I think we were able to get that funding finally because we made a business case for that funding. And I think that people are educated and informed and users of smartphone technology enough to be able to make the equation for themselves of you need a device, you need a network, and you need apps. Or the device really doesn't do much unless you have the applications. Because what we asked for was a network to save on our application, which is call-taking equipment. This is old-fashioned telephone company, backroom telephone equipment that we currently have to spend millions of dollars on every 2 years to put in every single county, and at least every single county, many times more. And so we made the case, the business case, that if we invested some in our network, for a new network, we could save millions of dollars each year on equipment and provide better service. Now, it'll probably be a wash in the end, but it helps modernize our network and it helps replace our network, because we are definitely stuck in the analog world in 911. Because, you know, for a public safety cause that telephone companies were forced to do for many years, we're not really what you call a money-making business enterprise. So we have to really look hard for our business case opportunities, and I think we're finally getting there. But I think forums like this will really help in the future. I think they already have, obviously, and I think they'll continue to help us, because the public really does need ubiquitous access to 911 service, any place, anytime, with any device. Right now, we struggle even to integrate wireless 911 calls into our system. It takes a great deal of effort, and we have to retrofit inclusion on different external databases. And 82% of the calls in our area, in the rural areas of Texas, are wireless calls. They're not landline calls. Wireless is much more accessible in the rural areas because you don't have to have copper wires. So we need this in rural America. The first responders, once the 911 call comes in from the public, because 911 is really the access of the public to public safety services. So we get a great deal of information from the public when they call in. We don't have a way to get it to the first responders. And that is where FirstNet would come in to be interoperable with 911 so that we could pass along that information to public safety, so they could get it, so they could take it with them in their cars. And that doesn't exist today. Right now, it's a dispatcher on the telephone telling the sheriff where to go and giving him driving directions. It comes down to that. And in today's world, I think we can do better than that with technology for public safety. I just recently went to a FirstNet meeting, a multi-state FirstNet meeting, and was very pleased that they included 911 in the state of Texas FirstNet team, because we really do want to work together to make this happen. And the core of our common needs is the rural area, because everywhere FirstNet needs to go in rural Texas, everywhere rural we need to go, we're already there. So there's no need for us both to build networks and to do these things. So we have realized in Texas we are going to have to work together. And this is a big shift in attitude for public safety to share any kind of communications with each other, because of security issues, because of failure. You know, the risk of failure is pretty high, and so security issues are huge for us. But at least we can find each other and find ways to work together within the public safety community to leverage our assets and realize our common goals. Broadband networks really should not be focused only on the future. There are things they need to fix now. We have counties that don't have maybe 1 or 2 cell towers in them. We have counties that don't have public safety answering points. We have, and some of these counties happen to be counties that have hundreds and hundreds of oil wells in them, and hundreds of trucks going up and down very small little 2-lane roads causing accidents. And we have Bubba and his backhoe digging up the street every time they need to put in a new telephone or whatever they're doing. So, you know, there's a lot of need right now out there in rural Texas, and I can definitely speak personally for that. But I think this effort will really require unprecedented funding, public-private collaboration, as well as policy development and governance models for all of us to follow and all of us to support. Like our legislation in Texas, maybe the time has come with public safety attitudes and technology where they can meet and improve things for public safety in all of America, especially rural America. I think the opportunity is to find those challenges and make things better, and the challenge, of course, will be to find the resources and marshal them and realize these opportunities come to bear fruit. I'd like to thank PCIA for this effort to explore these issues and hope that we can continue this dialogue. Thank you.